The megalodon is the most dangerous and terrifying predator on Earth, capable of biting through a whale with its jaws. It went extinct several million years ago, but equally terrifying creatures have taken its place. Today I will tell you who they are, the largest and most predatory sharks of the present day. Megalodon. For more than 14 million years, the ruler of the oceans was the Megalodon, a giant shark that instilled fear in all sea creatures. This monster lived several million years ago, but equally terrifying and dangerous predators have taken its place. Today, I will tell you about them. The Megalodon is one of the largest animals in Earth's history, possibly second in size only to the sperm whale. At the Museum of Natural History in New York, the jaws of the prehistoric shark have been reconstructed. They managed to recreate it from an almost complete set of teeth found in North Carolina. The monster's mouth could fit 6 people. This allowed for an estimation of the predator's size. Some experts believe that the length of the megalodon reached between 80 to 98 feet. However, paleontologist Victor Perez from the Florida Museum of Natural History, after revising the calculation method based on jaw width, determined a more accurate length. He concluded that the length of the megalodon was just over 65 feet, comparable to the size of a large double-decker bus. Meanwhile, the mass of the megalodon was over 49 long tons. The teeth of the megalodon. The word megalodon itself translates from Greek as big tooth. The ancient shark lives up to its name. The megalodon had 5 rows of giant teeth, nearly 8 inches long. Throughout its life, the shark lost about 20,000 teeth, which were constantly replaced by new ones. The wide distribution and abundance of this species are confirmed by paleontological findings. It is assumed that megalodons were at the top of the food chain, at least until the emergence of organized toothed whales, such as orcas. The prehistoric monster was a super predator. Marks of its teeth on the bones of marine animals indicate a diet of cetaceans, pinnipeds, and large fish, both live and carrion. The bite force of a large megalodon is estimated to have reached over 10 long tons, allowing it to effortlessly bite through the ribcage of a small whale. Several centuries ago, the existence of the giant marine predator Megalodon remained unknown. However, people had no doubts about the existence of dragons. The large teeth of the megalodon were mistakenly taken for fossilized dragon tongues. They were in demand as talismans. The legend said that a dragon would lose the tip of its tongue in battle or after death, and it would turn into stone. It was only in the 17th century that the Danish naturalist Nicholas Steno identified these dragon tongues as megalodon teeth. Unfortunately, the study of this ancient predator is limited, as only its teeth have survived to the present day. Why did the megalodons become extinct? Why did the megalodons become extinct, and who replaced them? Megalodons were warm-blooded. This was discovered by American and European paleontologists. This characteristic of ancient sharks ensured high activity, but at the same time created a huge need for food. Their body temperature exceeded the surrounding water temperature by 6 to 7 degrees. To maintain such a temperature, the predators had to be very voracious. The high metabolic rate required to maintain a high body temperature made megalodons vulnerable to ecosystem changes and competition, particularly from the emergence of the first great white sharks. Analysis of the teeth of megalodons and ancient great white sharks confirmed that they occupied similar ecological niches and competed for the same prey. And apparently, the extinction of megalodons is linked precisely to this competition. Modern sharks are capable of selectively raising the temperature of specific body parts, which provides them with the speed necessary to hunt warm-blooded prey. The combination of this thermoregulation mechanism and smaller body size proved to be evolutionarily successful. Whale sharks. Megalodons went extinct, and other giant sharks took their place. Who are they? For a long time, the whale shark remained unknown to science. Its first description was made 2 centuries ago by the English scientist Andrew Smith. The whale shark is not only the largest shark, but also the largest fish on Earth. These giants reach over 62 feet in length and weigh around 30 long tons. The whale shark feeds by sucking in large volumes of plankton-rich water and then filtering the food through its 3,000 tiny teeth. They also eat by opening their mouths and swimming forward. The diet of the whale shark mainly consists of small fish, squid, plankton, and crustaceans. Its menu also includes krill, copepods, fish eggs, crab larvae, and other small creatures. This is a slow-moving giant whose speed rarely exceeds 2.5 miles per hour. Instead of actively swimming using their tails, whale sharks gently sway their entire bodies to move forward. Are whale sharks safe for humans? This question often arises, as they are the largest sharks in the world. However, there is nothing to fear. Feeding exclusively on plankton, they do not hunt and pose no threat to humans. Moreover, whale sharks are known for their peaceful nature, often showing curiosity and even playfulness towards divers. These giants are completely harmless. However, I must admit, I still wouldn't want to encounter one. Great white shark? But which species of modern sharks are dangerous to humans? The top three include the great white bull and tiger sharks. They are the ones that have most frequently attacked people in recent years. The great white shark is a name that fully justifies itself. The length of these predators reaches over 22 feet and they weigh about 3 long tons. Encountering this giant instills fear, reminiscent of scenes from the movie Jaws. The danger of these sharks lies not only in their size but also in their ability to approach stealthily. They sneak up silently, attack suddenly, possessing high speed and persistence. Usually after a bite, the shark swims away, waiting for the victim to weaken. Despite their fearsome reputation, humans are not the primary food source for the great white shark. Attacks are most often explained by mistake or curiosity. The paradox of the situation is that this fearsome predator is itself endangered. The population numbers only about 3,500 individuals being hunted by humans for profit. The complete disappearance of the great white shark would lead to a serious imbalance in the marine ecosystem. The habitat range of great white sharks includes coastal waters in Australia, New Zealand, California, South Africa, and other regions. And tiger sharks, bull shark or bull shark, is considered the most dangerous shark to humans in the world. Statistics of attacks confirm this, although the actual number is likely higher because it is harder to identify than the great white or tiger shark. A particular danger is posed by the males. Their aggressiveness is due to high levels of male hormones, making an attack almost inevitable. The ability of the bull shark to survive and hunt in freshwater significantly expands its range and increases the risk to humans. Even when stranded on the shore, this resilient predator with a low pain threshold is capable of eating its own entrails. It can be found, for example, in Lake Nicaragua as well as in the Mississippi and Amazon rivers. The third predator on the list of the most dangerous sharks to humans is the tiger shark. It got its name due to the characteristic stripes on the backs of young individuals, which disappear with age. The attack of a tiger shark is lightning fast and leaves the victim with minimal chances of escape. In some cultures, this animal is revered as sacred. The shark is omnivorous. It is known for its ability to consume everything that comes its way, from live prey to inedible objects. In the stomachs of captured sharks, household waste has been found, fragments of anchors, and even car tires. For this, it has been nicknamed the garbage collector of the ocean. Surprisingly, consuming such items does not harm the shark. It easily spits them out and is even capable of turning its stomach inside out through its mouth, rinsing it. Would you like to have such an ability? Its habitat range covers tropical and subtropical waters, including the Caribbean Sea and the Gulf of Mexico. Tiger sharks can be found off the coasts of the Hawaiian Islands, northern and South America, Africa, China, India, and other regions. The shark is a long liver. Did you know that some sharks can live up to 500 years? Sharks are among the longest living fish and simply vertebrate animals. For instance, Greenland sharks live on average 200 to 300 years, but some individuals can even live up to 500 years. To find this out, scientists conducted a study on 28 Greenland sharks. Most of them died after being caught. The study allowed them to determine their age using radiocarbon analysis. It turned out that these sharks grow incredibly slowly, less than half an inch per year. They reach sexual maturity only at 150 years. What a Scientists found a new record holder for longevity. The age of one of the studied individuals was about 400 years. Just imagine living for 4 centuries and being caught for research. Before this, the record holder for longevity among vertebrates was considered to be the bowhead whale. Its age was estimated at 211 years. Many other shark species live only from 20 to 40 years, depending on their size and metabolism. Determining the age of these animals, whose appearance hardly changes over the years, is a challenging task. Scientists address this by studying the vertebrae of caught sharks. Counting the annual rings inside the vertebrae, similar to counting rings on a tree cross-section of a tree, allows for a fairly accurate determination of age, as confirmed by observations of shark growth in captivity. Did the Megalodon survive? Some scientists seem to still miss the Megalodon. A few years ago, Japanese cryptozoologists shocked the world with a sensational statement. They managed to capture footage of a monster at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. The video, recorded by an underwater camera, supposedly captured a giant shark that was attracted by a specially installed cage. However, the creature disappeared into the oceanic abyss after just 10 seconds. The scientific community was divided into 2 camps. For some, this was a shocking discovery, confirming the existence of the Megalodon in our time. Others view the footage as a brilliant hoax, pointing to possible inaccuracies in determining the size of the cage and even debating the actual filming location. Skeptics suggested that the video captured not a giant ancient shark, but merely a 2-meter Atlantic shark. The authenticity check of the video did not reveal any clear signs of falsification, but doubts remain. Oceanologist and ichthyologist Pavel Pavlov presents an interesting hypothesis. Perhaps the megalodon inhabits such areas of the ocean that are currently inaccessible to us, or it has undergone significant evolution, developing mechanisms to avoid detection, like in the skinny. Mammals are forced to surface for air, while fish can spend all their time at depth, never appearing at the surface. This explanation makes the idea of the megalodon's survival more plausible, but for now it remains within the realm of hypothesis. The mystery of the megalodon continues to intrigue scientists and the public. As long as there is no indisputable evidence of its current existence, the question remains open, allowing the imagination to paint pictures of a mysterious predator lurking in the unknown depths of the ocean. How do people profit from the megalodon? As we found out earlier, the megalodon lived several million years ago, but people still manage to make money from it. Its teeth are found all over the world. The coast of one of the towns in California has become a real Klondike for hunters of ancient relics. Here, one can find both ordinary shark teeth and giant specimens whose age is measured in millions of years. Dennis Bradley, a local resident, says that his father taught him the secrets of searching. We use a wire basket on a long handle, which we jokingly call the Florida snow shovel, to sift through the sand under the waves. When the water recedes, shell fragments and sometimes black tooth of an ancient shark, he says. Millions of years ago, the area of modern-day Florida was covered by a warm sea teeming with giant sharks. Locals say that in the 50s, the teeth of these predators were so common on the coast that children would just throw them back into the ocean. Today, fossil hunting has become a popular hobby, bringing some people real fortunes. The price of found megalodon teeth directly depends on their color, which in turn is determined by the minerals in the soil. Gray teeth are common, but pearlescent, golden, or snow-white specimens with preserved enamel are much more expensive, explains collector Jack Tenney. One such tooth can be valued at $25,000. 2-year-old Jack's 2-year search on the Gulf Coast resulted in an impressive collection, over 100 megalodon teeth. Additionally, the image of the megalodon is exploited in movies. Despite the millions of years that separate us from this sea monster, its image continues to captivate the imagination, finding its reflection in countless horror and science fiction films. The deception with teeth. Those wishing to add a megalodon tooth to their collection should be cautious, as the fossil market is full of fakes. Fraudsters use various methods to create convincing replicas. DG, there are plaster copies. EP, they are easily made and painted to mimic the texture and color of real teeth. The transformer method is also known. Buyers are sold exhibits made from parts of different fossils glued together. Fraudsters also use epoxy resin for repairing damaged megalodon teeth, hiding defects, or adding missing parts. Buy only from verified sellers with impeccable reputations. To be honest, I wouldn't mind having such an artifact in my living room. Shark attacks. Last year, the International Shark Attack Archive recorded 47 incidents. This is 32% less than the previous year, and 33% less than the average over the last 10 years. 4 cases resulted in fatalities. More than half of the incidents occurred on the Atlantic and Pacific coasts of the USA. Surfers became victims in more than 30% of the cases, which researchers attribute to strong coastal waves that attract sharks and make it difficult for them to identify potential prey. Naylor, head of the Shark Research Program, emphasized that the data only account for unprovoked attacks, allowing scientists to better understand the natural behavior of sharks and the reasons for rare attacks on humans. A significant portion of shark attacks occurred off the coast of Australia, which ecologists associate with the high population of white and grey bull sharks, the most aggressive species. Other cases have been recorded off the coasts of Western Sahara, India, Belize, Trinidad and Tobago, the Maldives, Mozambique, Thailand, and several Caribbean countries. The overwhelming majority of the victims survived. How to avoid encountering a shark. When going on vacation, remember simple safety measures that reduce the likelihood of encountering a shark. Before entering the water, assess the situation. Shark expert Neil Hammerschlag emphasizes there is always a chance of encountering a shark in the ocean. Fortunately, they usually avoid people, but there are places where the risk is higher. You should not swim in river mouths. These are favorite spots for bull sharks. Murky water, often containing household waste, attracts them. Bike, there is a high likelihood of encountering sharks also in deep channels, between the shore and sandbars, in fishing areas. If you see fishing boats, refrain from swimming. Fishing waste is enticing to sharks. Signs of a shark's approach can include unusual fish behavior, such as mass jumping out of the water. Hammerschlag recommends staying at least 160 feet away from fishing spots. Avoid dusk and dawn. Times of highest attack probability due to limited visibility. Before swimming, you should study the local fauna in advance and consult with lifeguards. Swimming at guarded beaches is significantly safer. You should not wear shiny jewelry. Their sparkle can attract sharks in murky water. And finally, trust your intuition. Hammerschlag advises, if you feel apprehensive, do not enter the water. Many victims ignored their sense of danger. Today's video added adrenaline to your blood, and you realized that the ocean is an environment full of dangers. And even if the Megalodon remains only in history and legends, existing shark species pose a real threat. Have you or your loved ones ever encountered a shark? Share your story in the comments.